I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker. A while ago, Honorable Pacuto advised that we need to subject ourselves to periodical checks following the sudden death of our colleague. But there are also constitutional requirements. To be a president, the Constitution says you must be mentally and physically fit. In America, the President Joe Biden was actually asked not to participate in elections on account of his age, 79. When you have an 80-year-old president who keeps making erratic decisions, Mr. Speaker, I want to implore this Parliament that we subject our president to, now that he's 80, to periodical mental and physical test, because that's the requirement of the Constitution. You can see her, but the Constitution says so. As
Order, Dr. Roki.
I'm raising under Rule 79. A member has been advised and even a quotation has been read to him from the Holy Book, but he has continuously engaged us and delayed us in repetitions. Okay? Which are actually not adding any value, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues. Through you, Right Honourable Speaker, under this rule, I would like to move that the member no longer be heard. Thank you.
Honourable colleagues, we run this house on flexibility, okay? But let us not also overstretch that flexibility. Honourable, conclude. You are concluding. Conclude.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have never seen young people who want to be read by old people, and they take pride in it.
But now, Honourable, I told you to conclude, you're opening more words.
Therefore, Mr. Speaker, since you are one of those who are approached to contribute cows and banana, I know you have more access than any member of this Parliament. Kindly, on our behalf, make arrangement to do a simple thing. Just test if the president is mentally and physically okay.
Thank you. I think when this Parliament sat down and resolved, whether you agreed with the resolution or not, but you resolved that you don't want to limit the age of anyone leading this country. You knew even people of 100 years will present themselves as president. You know, we are the ones who resolved it, so we can't run away from it. Yeah, so President Museveni, we are the ones who allowed him. Let Ugandans either accept or reject him. We leave it. I think the best test for him to know whether he's very okay will be done by Ugandans. Parliament, we don't have any power to do a test on an individual. Yes, Honourable Macho.
Day, which includes the birth of President Yoweri Museveni, the birthday of President Yoweri Museveni. Mr. Speaker, together with the people of Busia, we join the rest of the country. And two, I want to appreciate all the statements that were made on that day. Although my friend, Honorable Krumira, is not agreeing that it is very worthy to celebrate the life of a president, moreover a honest president. We have President Arap Moi who died without us knowing his age. But he's a president who declared that he's 80 years. And Mr. Speaker, at the same time, in Busia culture, and we have a proverb saying that if you steal in the basket of an old man is a curse. When Honorable Chirumira was complaining, I remembered the words of our president when he said that at the age of 75, these people of Nupu Soro, his 1 million votes. I don't know what really Kudelopu is thinking. Because if he's still from an old man of 75 years, you cannot wish him a good birthday. But as a country, we must agree that President Museveni is a gift to this country because of the stability and the peace he has brought in this country. And I think, and the development majorly, with what I've witnessed in Busia municipality, I believe he's still strong enough because we have seen younger people, although they have grown in the cities, in the ghettos, doing more mistakes than the elder. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I would advise all the younger and middle-aged MPs to learn from President Museveni. How can you live up to 80 years and you are still fit? I think he's a role model for us to learn from. Right Honorable Speaker, I was very disturbed when we lost our two generals because I know what it means for the nation to train a soldier to reach up the rank of a general. A lot of resources are spent on this person, but the knowledge and expertise that guarantee our security is very key. So it is very disturbing that we lost our two generals through road accidents. The first question, Right Honorable Speaker, is to find out the circumstances that led to the death of these two generals. How could these two generals die in one day at different times? They were in different cars. So what could be really the reason? How can we get explanation from UPDF, the Minister of Defense? The Minister of Defense must come here with an explanation about the cause of these two generals' deaths. Because we value our generals, we value our army. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand as the chairperson, Parliamentary Forum on Road and Water Safety. We are losing a lot of lives in these countries out of reckless accidents. And one of when we go to the researchers, they show that 95% of these accidents are a human error. But unfortunately, Ugandans, through all these different spiritual beliefs, they have come to believe that actually it is God's plan for somebody to die on the road. This is very unfortunate because in other nations where roads, the traffic laws work, we experience very minimal loss of lives. But here in Uganda, everybody has come to be accustomed that actually it is the act of God that is robbing our people on the roads. Right Honorable Speaker, my prayer. As I sit down, Right Honorable Speaker, it is good you visited us in Fort Portal. The Fort Portal Kampala Road, this is a national road. It is in a total mess. It has dilapidated, and a journey that would take only 4 hours, now we take 7.5 hours. And this is the road where this Minister of State for Works passes to go to his constituency, where the Prime Minister passes to go to the constituency, where the Minister of Finance passes to go to constituency. I'm really wondering, really, when you sit in the cabinet, what happens on this national economic road that now is going to cause more deaths for our people? I beg to move my...
The contract on that road, but it's a going concern. Honorable Francis Mujuche, Shadow Minister for Works, had brought an issue related to that earlier on. So let me allow him to raise it, then the Minister can respond at once.
There are very many accidents on the roads. Although we are talking about the two generals, but it's important to point out that the accidents on these roads have increased. On very many roads, Masaka Road, Jinja Road, Toro Road, Busia, Entebbe Road, there's a spot on Entebbe Road, I think around Nkumba, that has claimed very many people. That very spot at the university stage. We have seen buses of students, even in town here. Last year, in July, I think it was the 13th of July, this matter came in this very house. And the speaker then convened a meeting of Minister of Works, UNRA, the ROP, I think there was Minister of Internal Affairs, and right on the speaker I have answered here. After that meeting, very many interventions in the immediate, medium, and long term were reached at, agreed on. Right on the speaker, some of these interventions were to do with initiating pop-up messages by the Minister of ICT and National Guidance, replacing the missing road infrastructure, towing abandoned vehicles, immediate removal of roadside markets, compliance with the right of way and use of lead cars, increasing the recurrent budget allocation of UNRA, responsible use of road vehicles, and government vehicles, compliance with the speed limit, and also the enhancement of budget provisions, dealing with blind and black spots. Many interventions were reached at. The last one was that they agreed to have a monthly meeting to evaluate what they agreed on immediate intervention. Right on, Speaker, most of these interventions have not been effected. And now we are talking about increased road accidents. Right on, Speaker, I would want to know why all these interventions were not effected, and now we are talking about a year later, because that was 13th of July. This is September 2024, and nothing has happened. Because maybe if we had effected this, we wouldn't be talking about increased road accidents. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to begin with the issue of Entebbe. We are aware of it, and we have a report we are analyzing. But what I must say, the issue was coming from the traffic lights were near one another, and that could confuse the drivers. But I request next week if I can bring the detailed report, because we have got many accidents on that stretch, such that everyone is informed. Then on the issue of the
Honourable colleague, you don't move to the microphone. You remain here. Once he refuses, he has refused. Honourable Minister, go on.
On the issue of
seats as the shadow ministers and ministers of government, is so we can work out and mitigate the challenges in the country. The issue I'm raising and which I'm interested in with the minister, the clarification is that this year alone, road accidents have claimed lives of children, 260 in number. Children, 260. You can think about those parents. So what I'm seeking, could you come with that?
Source of your information, Honourable?
There's clarification. Would you come with the detailed information of how those children have been dying on getting these accidents? Are they as is of crossing roads, going to school? What happened to them? So that we take good analysis and we look at all those challenges. But 260 children is a big number.
Honourable, once you put statistics here, we need source of information, because the answer is
Speaker.
It is traffic, Mr. Speaker, put the records clear. It is traffic report. Police last week. And I will tell you if you want, Mr. Speaker, for
Honourable Minister, you seem to be the source. So.
I didn't know that elders nowadays also they tell lies. I must say what he's saying, it is a lie. That is his source of information. And if he has evidence that he...
Point of order.
I never intended to raise a point of order because, of course, you remember one time you directed me and the minister promised to go with him to Northern Express Cross Highway so that we look at the barricades that were removed. He never came. And here he is telling the house that Semujju is telling lies in the house. I've been in this house, I always give right information. What I've stated is a police report. And if the minister is given news in his office, but doesn't make good use of the news, it's very unfortunate. Government is procuring him newspapers, but is not using them. So I would pray, is in order, Mr. Speaker, to deny what I've said, whereas he would have said that when I remember, let me take in interest and find what I can report back as I come. So is in order to say that I'm a liar, whereas I'm putting on my rosary very smartly and telling the truth from a police report, which is displayed in all the news and is well known, from the Minister of ICT and his team, from Minister of Information.
I offend the minister because I warned him when he was giving an opportunity, he didn't listen. But anyway, on a very serious note, it would be very important when you refer to a report to table it here. Now it's difficult for me to know whether he is lying, whether you are lying. I think to make it very easy, tomorrow we can correct the record by you tabling the report here, okay? Yeah, that will help us. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, right, Honourable Speaker, I use the word I mentioned, the lie in good faith, but what had provoked me, it was the unverified information, so my colleague, I withdraw. Right, Honourable Speaker, as I conclude the intervention we have done now, we have removed the traffic lights which were close to one another as we look around to work on that issue permanently, that they will save our Ugandans. We shall bring the report to this house as you may guide. Maybe next week that the country can be able to know what is happening. Then, on the issue of...
Honourable colleagues, once you request twice and you're not responded to, please, you start disrupting proceedings. So, Honourable, kindly take your seat.
Then on the issue of Mitiana Mubende, right, Honourable Speaker, I do accept personally take that road, but it doesn't mean that I should strangle the government programs on how they are arranged to cater for my place. If the resources are limited, then all of us we should be equal. The contractor...
Right, Honourable Speaker and Honourable Minister, last year, Kafo Bridge was washed away by floods. And the Honourable Minister of Works came here and told the public, the Parliament, that works will commence this early January. And right, Honourable Speaker, with oil and gas at its highest peak in the country, Kampala-Hoima Road is the main route to the oil, to the Albertine Grabens. And most of the heavy trucks are using that same bridge. We want the Honourable Minister to also clarify on when the Kafo Bridge is going to be rehabilitated, when the construction works are going to start. I submit.
Honourable Minister.
On Mubende Mitiana, we have Fort Potro. The stretch from Mitiana to Mubende, we had a contract on site, but we couldn't have enough money to pay in time. But currently, he was demanding us 41 billion Uganda shillings, and we have got 20 billion. We have paid him, and we have engaged him. He's back on the site currently to finish the stretch up to Mubende. Meanwhile, as we look for the balance of the 21 billion. Then on the side from Mubende, going up to Fort Potro, we are doing some simple rehabilitation for the potholes.
Going up to Chenjojo?
Yeah, going up
to Fort Potro, Chenjojo you have done.
Yeah, going to Chenjojo, we have done some simple rehabilitation using our in-house engineers and the equipment we have. And I must say, my honorable colleague must be singing those on that road. But meanwhile, the designs have been completed. Then we shall go to the next phase to look for funds. And once we get them, shall get the contractor to reconstruct and rehabilitate the entire stretch from Mubende up to Chenjojo. Then also, on the issue of my colleague, Honorable Seungu, said that I came here, promised to go with him to Entebbe Express to visit those places. Honestly, Honorable Speaker, I must be on record. I looked for the Honorable colleague on phone. He could not answer my calls. I even WhatsApped him, it did not reply, it is on record. I can even bring the evidence on the dates when I called you. But as a ministry, we went and visited. It's on record. And if he wants our findings, I will share with him. I thought I looked for you, maybe if it was within my means, then I could have made it publicly. But we shall share with you our report on the findings we got. Then lastly, on the Kafu bridge, let Honorable Speaker, that bridge was washed away. And immediately, we got money. We rehabilitated it. After rehabilitating it, was a temporary solution, and currently traffic is flowing on very well. But meanwhile, to avoid other future problems, we want to repeat, we want to make designs for reconstruction of all.
Right Honorable Speaker, as I speak now, UNRA came and put some concrete blocks in the middle of the roads, in the middle of the bridge where there were potholes, and they left them there. That is the rehabilitation that the minister is talking about. So, right Honorable Speaker, is it procedurally right? Is the Honorable Minister to Works and Transport in order to come and lie this Honorable House, to misguide this Honorable House that they did the renovation of that bridge?
Thank you. Now, Honorable, you are said by putting whatever they put. It might not have been sufficient. Okay? It might not have been sufficient, but Honorable colleagues, please, Honorable colleagues, let us listen to the minister on the long-term solution, okay? Which is, he was reporting on the long-term solution. Look at how best we can support all these efforts.
Honorable Speaker, as the longer-term solution, because we anticipate, since the weather keeps on changing, the same problem may occur in future, and even it may cut off the road for almost a week, which we don't wish to happen. Currently, we have constituted a team to redesign all those bridges which are on those busy roads, such that we reconstruct them at a given point when floods surface, that they can be able to handle the volumes of waters, so that in the future people don't suffer. If my honorable colleague wishes to move with me and from there, we can move for a supervision of that bridge, which I'm talking about. Together it causes no harm. She's my sister, a good one. Such that I can try to explain with my engineers what we did and also what we intend to do in the future, so that you can appreciate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, Honorable Minister, many issues to do with accidents and the road sector. So, Honorable Mwijuche gave a comprehensive list of issues which we had discussed with the Speaker and the Chairperson, Forum on Transport, Road and Water Safety, Honorable Alex Rwunda, also raised salient issues. I think since you're bringing the report from Kumba, I would request that you look at those issues, okay? You respond to them one by one. We come here and we have a comprehensive debate. I accommodate all these issues. Otherwise, we are going to stop on that, Honorable colleagues, if we are, because each one is having a serious point on this. No, Honorable colleagues, this is done, okay? I don't know how I can pick one and I leave the others on the same point.